exhilarating sports talk coming up next on The Doug Stewart Show in about 2 minutes. Stay tuned. We're about to have some fun. That's right. Sports talk, guy talk, right here on The Doug Stewart Show. Show coming up in about a minute and a half. Hold on. You have entered a no puppet zone. That's right, no puppetry around here. The Doug Stewart Show coming up in about 1 minute. The realest, treeless, most unfiltered sports and guy talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show coming up in about 30 seconds. Yes!
Play this record as frequently as possible.
The Doug Stewart Show
is the best in the world as far as I'm concerned.
This is sports talk for the people. The Doug Stewart Show. It's like the tail wagging the dog. They create the narrative. Don't believe it. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Or are you not entertained? This is sports talk with hot sauce. Texas Pete hot sauce. The Doug Stewart Show. Yeah! Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. And this is a Tribute Tuesday. And oh boy, we got a lot of great things we're going to get into today as we do every single day. Thank you so much for joining your folk. We're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Yeah. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, man, thank you and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Bring that beat back for your boy one more time, No Cassidy. Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we got a lot planned for you today. All right, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, a couple things you need to do. Well, first of all, let me say thank you for tuning in. I mean, you're a little late to the party, but thank you for tuning in. This truly is the most fun, the most exhilarating, the most unfiltered sports and guy talk show in America. Doug Stewart, one half of the world-famous Two Live Stews, brings you sports talk with hot sauce. Yes, sir. Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. If you're new to the show, a couple things you need to do. You need to go to Spreaker.com. You need to hit the follow button under the Doug Stewart Show. So follow the show on Spreaker.com. That way, whenever the show goes live, which is 99% of the time, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., but once in a while, we have to change the time. We may not be here, or there may be another show airing on the network. So you need to follow the show on Spreaker.com. And then there's a little chat bubble, comic book bubble thingy. You need to click on that. And when you click on that, you enter into a whole new world of sports and guy chat. I call it the fantasy island of sports and guy chat. And its inhabitants are my peoples, the Stewies. Good morning, Stewies. Good morning, good morning. And so what happens with the chat, man, is I look over the chat, I read a lot of the commentary, man, and it kind of adds to the show, the Stewies and the people in the chat room and that call the show. They're kind of like my co-hosts, my wingmen. So thank you very much. Jump in and enjoy the ride and be totally interactive, all right? Speaking of which, man, you can still call the show, though, old school style, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. All right, I got to shoot you straight. There's not really a lot of stuff, interesting stuff going on in the world of sports. I mean, outside of the NCAA Tournament, which we got you covered on that, there's not a lot of other little stories out there, interesting stories, in my opinion. There's a couple little things that we'll talk about throughout today's show. Martavius Bryant, the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver, I didn't get a chance to talk about that yesterday. He just can't get right. The Golden State Warriors continue to roll. We're going to look at what they did last night and their record to this point and how close they are to matching or surpassing the 95 Bulls 72-10 team. A Packer packs it in. Ben Simmons is free as a bird. He didn't want to go to school anyway. We'll talk about that. Georgia Tech's in the NIT. Speaking of Georgia Tech, in about 25 minutes, we're going to talk to Georgia Tech basketball Hall of Famer, now analyst, Malcolm Mackey. And he's going to talk about the tournament. He'll relive a little bit of the early 90s, late 80s Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets who had that incredible run, Lethal Weapon 3. So stay tuned to the show, man. In about 25 minutes, we'll talk to Hall of Famer from Georgia Tech, Malcolm Mackey. All right, so stay tuned for that. Good stuff. If you've ever heard him before, good stuff. And also what we do around here, man, is we talk entertainment, we do top fives, birthdays, have a lot of fun with that. And today is a special day. Today is Tribute Tuesday. And what we do on Tribute Tuesday, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is we pay homage to a particular singer, rapper, group, or whatever from yesteryear. And we pay homage to them. And for the last couple of weeks, we've been doing kind of like this walk down memory lane, late 80s, early 90s, some of the most influential albums of my time, of my formative years in college and whatnot. So we've talked about Mary J. Blige, Guy, Jodeci, and I actually gave my top 5 albums of the late 80s, early 90s last week on social media on Facebook. And so it was, let's make sure I can remember, Mary J. Blige, Guy, Jodeci, who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I can't remember who it was right now that I'm missing. I'm missing somebody. Guy, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. I can't remember who it was. Somebody will tell me here in a second. But the one other act that I put in my list of top 5 acts from the early 90s, late 80s was the great, not better than me, but the great Bobby Brown. That's right. My prerogative, bitches. Yeah. And so today, man, we pay homage to one Mr. Robert Brown, born February 5th, 1969, 47 years of age, from Boston, Massachusetts. I think they like to tell you it's Roxbury, not Boston. There's a big difference. One of the founding members of New Edition, broke out on his own, couldn't be contained. And that's really the problem that me and Bobby had when we were, bandmates back in the day. Shut up! Shut up! All right, so if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, man, let me just give you the quick synopsis of this, man. I was a founding member. I was one of the original members of New Edition. I was. Shut it up! Shut up! Shut up! And so, to make a long story short, one thing led to another, a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, and Bobby, I think, concocted this whole campaign to get me kicked out of the group, and he was very successful in that, obviously. Shut it up! Shut up! And so I harbor some ill feelings toward New Edition, in particular to Bobby. You know how Bobby is. He just got a real attitude problem, man. Very talented. Not as talented as me, but very talented. And so today, you know, I'm not a hater. I mean, Bobby Brown had a great run in the late 80s, early 90s. He did. He had a fantastic run, one of the best runs that we've ever seen in music. And he's kind of fallen off over the last couple of years. It's very tough on Bobby Brown. But today, man, we're going to show a little respect to some of our people from my group that I helped start back in the day, and I'm still kind of bitter about. If you don't shut it up, shut it. So today, man, we pay homage to Bobby Brown. And not only do we pay homage to Bobby Brown today by playing some of his classics, once again, from the Don't Be Cruel album. I mean, most of these cuts are thinking from the Don't Be Cruel album, which came out like in 1990. Oh, no, the Don't Be Cruel album came out in 1988. I was going to say 92. So it came out in 1988, MCA Records. They actually classify it as New Jack Swing, and it does sound like some New Jack Swing when you think about it. So you're talking about Don't Be Cruel, My Prerogative, Every Little Step, Rock With You. So today we'll play some of that music, and also today what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give you just a little sample of what I'm talking about how Bobby just stole my style. He did. Thieving SOB. So if you're new to the show, something you may not have known about me, you knew that I do sports and guy talk and I have fun and I'm halfway a comedian and whatnot, and we have a good time on the Doug Stewart Show. But if you're new to the show, you may not have known, because I just started doing it a couple of months ago, that I'm actually an established singer. That's right. I've been gifted or given the gift of song by the good Lord. That's right. And so today, I'm going to sing one of the classics that Bobby Brown stole from my ass. You shut up, he did. So I'm going to show you how I sing one of Bobby classics. One of his classics that him and his lawyer stole from me. I'll show you how I sing it. Doug Stewart style. So stay tuned for that. Tired of it, man. And every time I bring up Bobby Brown and New Edition, man, and Ricky and Mike and all of them cats and Johnny, can't stand Johnny. I mean, they could have called me back when they needed to add a member. That's neither here nor there. So it's kind of tough talking about it. But I'm going to show respect. I'm going to show love, man. One of the best to ever do it for a quick little second. He's not the real R&B king, though. The real R&B king is talking to you right now. Shut your damn mouth! Shut it! All right, we get back from the break, man. NCAA talk, tournament talk. We'll talk a little bit about Ben Simmons, man. He's done. LSU is done. All right. The Doug Stewart Show is brought to you by ID Life. What is ID Life? ID Life is individualized nutrition. Nutrition with a kid's line of nutritional products, sleep and skincare products, shakes, energy chews, and energy drinks. If you want to get healthy in this early new year, 2016, go to thedugstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedugstewartshow.idlife.com. When we get back, we'll talk a little college basketball, Ben Simmons, LSU, and we'll start off our mini tribute to Bobby Brown. Old sap sucker. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. What is ID Life? Well, over the last 18 years, a group of scientists and doctors have been working on the development of a one-of-a-kind nutritional supplement program that takes all the guesswork out of what you need and delivers your truly personalized pharmaceutical-grade nutrition with your name on it directly to your door. Through the integration of thousands of medical and scientific studies, answers you provide to the free assessment, and more than 5,470 algorithms that process the data, ID Nutrition recommends what you need, leaves out what you don't, and blocks things known to the system to have possible adverse effects based on the answers you provide. The result is a program that is revolutionizing the health and wellness industry. Welcome to ID Life. For more information, just go to thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Paying tribute to Bobby Brown today, man. On our reoccurring series of the classics of the late 80s, early 90s here on the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Bring the beat back one more time.
No matter what your friends try to tell you, we will make fall in love. And we will be together, any kind of weather. Just like that, evidence that
All right, stay tuned. Later on today, I will sing for you. You're welcome. Welcome. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We're going to get to some tournament talk with my man Malcolm Mackey, Georgia Tech Hall of Famer, here in about 15 minutes, so stay tuned for that. I'll get his thoughts on who he likes in the tournament, who he thought shouldn't have got in, who he thought should have got in, all of that type of stuff that you do when you talk about the tournament. And I got to be honest with you. If you're, and I said this yesterday, if you're wanting to get into the Doug Stewart Show Bracket Challenge, all you got to do is go to the group page on Facebook, the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group page, and you'll see the link there, and it's through CBS Sports. And what we're giving away is a bucket full of pride. Don't cost nothing but bragging rights. That's what you get, okay? You get bragging rights. So go to Facebook, search the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group, find it, and you might have to ask for, not might, you do have to ask to get into the group. We'll respond real quickly. Go in there, fill out your bracket. I'm still filling out my bracket, man. I said it yesterday. I always try to keep it real, man. I really don't devote a lot of time to watching college basketball, especially during the regular season, because it kind of coincides with the NBA. You know, when NBA games are on a lot of times, and then you got stuff going on the day on Saturdays when you get a lot of college basketball. So I really, really have to catch up and do like a lot of studying and preparing for the tournament and doing a bracket. I always do a bracket. I used to do several, but now I just do like one, maybe two if I see something very glaring as far as an upset that could possibly happen or whatever. But I'm still trying to put together my bracket. I've got like 4 teams in my bracket right now. I've got Oklahoma advancing, beating Cal Baker, Michigan State. I got like all 1s and 2s advancing right now. So my bracket is like 5% filled out. All right, and I'm still looking at the teams, looking at the matchups, some of the tendencies or whatever, man. So I don't have my bracket filled out yet. I'm going to ask Malcolm Mackey when we get him on the line in a couple minutes. Who does he have in the Final Four? Who does he have in the national championship team? But I'm just not there yet. I think we've got like 13 people that have already signed up for the bracket challenge in the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group. So, yeah, if the only way you're going to know about the bracket challenge is if you're listening to the show, because I don't plan on posting it anywhere else on my social media like Twitter or Instagram, anything like that. So you have to go to the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group on Facebook and fill out your bracket, man, and we'll give out some type of prize, bragging rights, bucket of pride. We'll give out something like that to whoever has the best bracket and finishes with the highest amount of points, okay? All right, there you have it. But Ben Simmons, the much-heralded freshman guard from LSU, man, is done. LSU's season is done. LSU will not take a bid to the NIT. They are done. 19-14 this year. Very, very underwhelming in relative terms if you're talking about the expectations for Ben Simmons. Averaged 19.6 this year, 2 steals a game, 0.8 blocks, 11.9 rebound. Ben Simmons led the LSU Tigers in 5 of the 6 categories on the team. The only category he didn't lead the team in was field goal percentage. That was obviously gotten by Henry Shortis, the big man for the LSU Tigers. But that being said, man, I don't know. I'm starting to hear talk now, and I was watching the Puppet Factory this morning, and they had, I can't remember his name right now. I'm real bad with names. He used to be the coach of Virginia State, or Virginia Tech. And he talked about, he's not sure about Ben Simmons. And I'm hearing a lot of that talk right now about Ben Simmons and will he be the number 1 pick in the draft, which is pretty much a foregone conclusion at the start of the season. Great skill set, 6'9", 6'10", great handles, very athletic, jump shot a little bit suspect. And I think that's what a lot of people are talking about. But now they're talking about his leadership ability and his killer instinct ability, have you. And the fact that that a team with a guy that good shouldn't be that bad. And once again, they don't make the tournament. And now the coaches and the staff at LSU decide not to even take a bid to the NIT. What does that say about your competitive nature, your competitive, fortitude? And the fact that LSU isn't going to the NIT, they're done for the season. And, Ben Simmons was in the news a couple of weeks ago as far as the Wooden Award, and he wasn't eligible for the Wooden Award because of academics, supposedly, and that's not been verified, but that's the only thing that it could be. And it actually had leaked out that he had a 1.8. He had to have a 2.0 to qualify for the Wooden Award, and so he didn't have that. So the kid's mind obviously is not into school, into studying. And I said it when we talked about it that day a couple of weeks ago, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I can't blame him. I really can't blame him. It would be very easy to get distracted if you knew within a couple of months, literally a couple of months, you would be rich beyond belief. And the only reason that this guy's here, probably, and based on what he's shown academically in the classroom, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to go to college. They made him go to college. The rules are so that they made him go to college. Now, he could have chosen to go overseas, which, I don't know, I probably would have done that. We've seen guys do it before, but the whole thing is just it's a facade. It's crazy. That man didn't want to be there. And now he's probably lost a little bit of luster They're talking about the Ingram kid for Duke being the number 1 pick possibly, which he looks fantastic. He's so slight, though. So now, I don't know, man. The whole thing was bad. I read a story, an article this morning about Ben Simmons basically wasting a year of his life. And when you think about it, that's probably what it did. I don't think that his stock would have gone down, per se, if he did not play in the NBA or in college basketball this year. The Moutier kid that went overseas, stock didn't drop that much. Brandon Jennings' stock didn't drop in relative terms based on what we were hearing before the draft or after. So what was the point? What was the point? Chances are he barely completed his freshman year in college. Chances are he's not going to come back and get his degree. I mean, so what was the point? What was the point of it at all, man? I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. And I don't even want to get back into the depths of the conversation like we did a couple of days ago. But the whole thing, once again, is facade. And I find it very odd that, in any line of work, especially in sports, where you're talking about golf and tennis and how if someone's willing to pay you, you can accept pay. You can accept pay. Not even if you're 18 years old when you get into the whole conversation about, being old enough to go into the military and die for your country, but you can't be, you're not old enough to go and play in a sports league. If a team wants to draft you, that's their business. Whether you're ready or not, that's that team's prerogative. They don't have to draft you. They draft you because they think that you can help them. Okay? You don't have to draft the kid. They make it sound like that if you allow these kids to be drafted, that they'll automatically be drafted. No, if you don't think they're good enough, then don't draft them. So the whole thing to me is a hypocrisy, man. I'm happy for Ben Simmons. I hope that everything works out for him. I hope that he invests and saves his money well, and that we're talking about him in 20 years from now, kind of like we're talking about Kobe Bryant, which is a very good comparison at this point in his career. We don't know how he's going to be in the NBA, obviously. We don't know if he's going to be one of the top 3 or 4 players to ever play the game, 5 players that ever played the game like Kobe. But right now, at this point, man, the future is very promising for this young man, and I hope nothing but the best for him. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But it is March Madness. Let's talk about the NCAA Tournament, man, from one of the experts and one of the greatest to ever do it in the college game, one of the greatest to ever play at Georgia Tech, my man Malcolm Mackey, basketball analyst, comes on and talks tournament with your boy. Sports talk with hot sauce. Texas Pete hot sauce. Tribute Tuesday. Don't go away. Protect yourself at all times. The referee issues that reminder because it's important to a fighter's safety and success. Doug Stewart here to tell you about the team at Strickland Security and remind you that living in the metro Atlanta area is sometimes like boxing. You've got to protect yourself at all times. There's nothing more important than ensuring the safety of your family and your home. And for business owners, protecting your business is critical because it's your livelihood. Strickland Security can satisfy all of your security needs. The staff of Strickland Security has a combined 55 years of experience protecting people and property, from alarm systems to uniformed security guards and everything in between. Strickland Security has an affordable solution for you. To see a list of all the security services they offer, visit their website at stricklandsecurity.com or give them a call at 800-422-9075. Again, that's stricklandsecurity.com or give them a call at 800-422-9075. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. If you're not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Tribute Tuesday. Little Bobby Brown for you. Thank you so much for joining your boy. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. We'll take your calls. We'll read some of your chat here in a second. But right now, I've been talking about it since we started the show, man. Welcoming on to the Doug Stewart Show is Georgia Tech legend, Hall of Famer, Malcolm Mackey, basketball analyst as well. Malcolm, how you doing, bruh?
Hey, good, man. Good. Thanks for calling me, man. Get me on your show, man. I've listened to you for a long time, man. It's good to be on.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Okay, for people that don't remember him, the greenhorns that listen to the Doug Stewart Show and to the Two Lies Twos, Malcolm Mackey is a Hall of Fame player from Georgia Tech, played under Bobby Crimmins, was during that era of Lethal Weapon 3, which they had the most success in Georgia Tech history. Malcolm, I want to talk to you about your Georgia Tech days here in a second, but first, let's get the tournament stuff out of the way. You're an analyst right now in college basketball. Let's talk about the tournament, the bracket that just came out this past Sunday. First question, are you okay with Oregon, Kansas, Virginia, and North Carolina as your number one seeds in the tournament?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, Oregon, I can understand people's question about Oregon because, you know, being out here in the East Coast, we don't watch Oregon play a lot. And then they lost the conference tournament, you know, by 30 points against Utah. But however, you know, Utah's a good team. I like them. They got some good big guys out there. But, you know, however, you know, Oregon did beat them, you know, twice during the season. And they also have a good win against Arizona, which is also a tough win. It's just that out here in the East, man, we don't get a chance to see those guys play, but I'm definitely okay with them. I think Virginia, I actually have Virginia playing for the national championship. I got them going all the way. I just really love the way that team plays, man. Their picks, they're very well coached. If you look at all the pick setting that they do, and they know how to use them. Malcolm, the guy Malcolm, you know, I'm using him. I love him, Malcolm Holcomb. That guy right there is ACC Player of the Year as well as ACC Defensive Player of the Year. You got to guard that guy. I don't know who's going to stop him, but he's going to be a guy I think is going to lead his team. So I'm okay with that. North Carolina, the game they played against Virginia in the ACC championship, I thought was great. That's the best I've seen them play all year. Defensively, they long, they're athletic. I just don't see anyone beating Johnson, a senior. This guy's average, you know, 16, 10. I mean, he's had a 39-point game, 23 rebounds. You know, I think this guy's he's one of the legends in UNC history. So I don't have a problem with them making it at all. I think they made some good selections with them, and I have them going all the way.
All right, you just talked about kind of a surprise of what happened with Oregon in their championship game. I hear a lot of people talk about Texas A&M getting a higher seed than Kentucky, who they lost to in the SEC tournament. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, still, with all in all, man, Texas A&M was still 26-8. No matter how you cut a slice and dice it, man, 26-8 is impressive. You get almost 30 wins, you know, that's 76% of your wins. I mean, so I can't knock a team for making it with 26 wins on the 8 losses, and then they beat Texas, they beat Kentucky. I mean, they beat Gonzaga. I mean, these are some qualified wins. So if you win those type of games, I think that you should make it. I mean, when you look at Kentucky, man, has got all the hype. Everybody knows Coach Calipari, and they know the one and done. They know all the players that come out of there. But when you really look at them, man, they had some tough losses this year, man. They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Texas A&M, Vandy, LSU, Auburn. So they had some losses, man, that I think really hurt them.
Talking right now to Malcolm Mackey, former Georgia Tech star, now basketball analyst on the Doug Stewart Show. Talking March Madness. Speaking of Kentucky, you just kind of mentioned it a little bit. Let's roll into that. What are your thoughts on the culture that your boy John Calipari got going on around Kentucky as far as this one-and-done stuff over the last couple of years? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think, a lot of coaches should look at his blueprint of how he's doing it. I mean, I'm not opposed to the one-and-done as far as, like, the college players' point of view. As far as the NBA, I think it really hurts the NBA, I think that the NBA has to be the ones to stop that. But I think Calipari is doing a great job of being able to sell his program, to sell Kentucky basketball. They love Kentucky basketball. He's able to sell the program. He's able to go around and tell these young kids and parents that, hey, come to my program, I'll get you into the NBA. The only thing is, man, is that it's not necessarily the best thing for the kids, because the one and done, man, we always talk about the kids that make it and do something well with their careers. But, man, most of them, I mean, a majority of them do not do well. And it's a shame to see that, because then after you leave and you go pro, you let your eligibility go. Now you out there with no education, no college degree, and it could be a bad situation.
Kind of differ with you on that opinion, but I get what you're coming from and where you're coming from. All right, let's talk a little bit about the tournament and who did get in and who didn't get in. Let's start with who didn't get in. Who did you think should have gotten in that didn't get in?
Mammoth, man. I mean, Mammoth, man, it's no way that they don't make the tournament. You talking about 27-7. They won 17 games on the road. I mean, on the road, that's hard. I mean, and they had a good schedule. I mean, they beat Notre Dame. They beat UCLA. And you're talking about another team with almost 30 wins that does not make the tournament. I think that's a travesty. There's no way that they should have got in. Then when you look at a team like Tulsa or maybe Syracuse and Vanderbilt getting in, I don't get how that team doesn't get in. I also thought that St. Mary's possibly should have got in. They had a tough record of 27-5 with some good wins. They beat Gonzaga twice. So I thought that those two teams should have had a shot of getting in. I was questioning Tulsa, Syracuse, and Vandy. I didn't know about that. I think Syracuse got in because Louisville not making the ACC tournament, taking themselves out. I think that helped. The ACC is going to always take 5, 6, 7 teams out of the conference every year, and I think Syracuse benefited behind that. Talking
to Malcolm Mackey on the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker Network, on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network as well. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Oh, okay, so you talked a little bit about Syracuse. Who were some of the other teams that got in that probably shouldn't have, in your opinion?
Those teams there, Tulsa, Syracuse, and Vandy. I thought those teams there, I thought it was questionable. I mean, I'm never going to say a team probably should not have made it, but I thought that their wins and their scheduling, I questioned if they should have got in. Syracuse, like I said, benefited on the fact that Louisville was not in the tournament, because Louisville, if they wasn't, under, having all the troubles that they having right now, they took themselves out. I thought Tulsa, very questionable, and also Vandy. I think that their schedule and their wins in the SEC, I don't think that they should have made it either.
A question kind of diverting from what I was going to ask you next, but you brought up Louisville and what's going on there with Rick Pitino and the whole sex scandal in the dorms or whatever. Do you agree with what Louisville did and basically took themselves out of the tournament, kind of like as a precautionary type thing so that they don't get hit harder by the NCAA?
Well, I mean, you got to think about it, Doug. If they done that, they must know it's a lot of evidence stacked against them. I mean, I don't think anyone would do that, to their program if it wasn't a lot of evidence stacked against them. So, from my knowledge of that, I don't know everything about it, but from my knowledge, they got text messages, emails, and they got a lot of things stacked up against them. So I think that they took the initiative of doing that so they can get back to, competing in the NCAA tournament as soon as possible.
All right, so I'm going to ask you for a champion, right? All right, now you don't have to give it. I know it's early. I just talked about I haven't gotten halfway through my bracket yet, but this is what you do. So I'm asking you right now, give me your final four and give me who wins it all. If you want to give me who wins it all.
Well, man, I'm going to go with the obvious, man. I really like Kansas. I think Coach Bill Self is going to have his guys ready, and they're going to be prepared. Perry Ellis is a great player. I think great players right now are going to shine in the NCAA tournament. I think they're going to make it to the Final Four. I got UNC. I love UNC's Bryce Johnson. I think their senior is going to lead them. I love guys that average double-double. As a big guy, I'm probably partial to that, but I really love his game, and I think that they're going to be very well prepared. They've been playing well all year. Michigan State, I don't know. Some people, I can't decide in this bracket, in that Midwest bracket between Michigan State and UVA. I think I'm going to lean. It's kind of tough with that one. It's UVA. I got to flip a coin with that one. I like UVA. Malcolm Brogdon is such a great player, and I think you really have to have a lot of time to prepare to play with against Virginia with all the pick setting that they do. But Tom Izzo is just such a great coach, and Denzel Valentine, man, up there, he's putting in work at 19.7 rebounds. So he's a tough guy to stop. And then in the West region, man, I'm gonna go with. I don't think Oregon is gonna take that. I think you got some teams out there such as Duke and Texas. But out of that region right there, I'm gonna go with my boy Buddy Hield. I think that Oklahoma is gonna do it. He's leading everyone in scoring 25 points a game. I think that they're gonna make it out of there. So I got Oklahoma. I got Michigan State. Toss up between them and UVA, UNC, and Kansas.
Wow. Finishing up with my man Malcolm Mackey, former Georgia Tech star, on the Doug Stewart Show. Speaking of Georgia Tech, before we let you go, we got to talk a little bit of Tech. Another disappointing year for the Yellow Jackets. 19-14, as well as missing the tournament. As honest as you can be, just as honest as you can be, man. What are your thoughts on the job that Brian Gregory has done down at Georgia Tech over the last couple of years of being there?
It's been tough, Doug. I mean, Coach G, man, is a good guy, nice guy, man. He's invited all the former players over to his home. That's something that he didn't have to do. They've done a great job of bringing the former players back to Georgia Tech, for the games and whatnot and practices and, just wanting us to be around. I really, taking the hats off to him for doing that. But, we want to win. They played very well the last 10 games of the season. I thought Brian did a good job of, getting these transfers in, getting the transfers in, which is tough to do, and getting all of them to play, and they started gelling at the end. It's just too bad that those guys are not coming back next season and playing again. And in order to build a successful program, you can't really build it based upon a lot of transfers. You really got to build it upon your recruiting. And that seems to be hurting Georgia Tech right now, the recruiting aspect of it. I mean, we're losing guys out of Atlanta in particular a lot, coming out of here and going to other schools. So, I mean, if we can just recruit better, that's something that we need. If Coach Gregory can get someone on his coaching staff that can help him recruit and actually sign some of these big-time players around. Because you got to get McDonald's All-Americans. You can't get guys that are ranked in the top 50 in the country or top 100 in the country and expect to win with that. When I was at Georgia Tech, the success that we were having was because guys were ranked in the top 25 players. I mean, if you looked at Dennis Scott, he was ranked number 1 in the country. Kenny Anderson, number 1 in the country. Myself was top 25. Darryl Barnes was top 25. Levano Newbill, James Ford, Travis Best, all these guys that you love watching play were all some of the best high school players in the country. And that's what you got to have, along with good coaching, to be successful in a tough conference like the ACC. So I would like to see them. I'm gonna watch them play in the NIT. They got their first game against Houston tomorrow, and just kind of see how they finish. I like to see how they approach the NIT, and if they can get a nice run in that NIT, that would be nice to see. But we don't play to get in the NIT, but I think that just for us to be in the NIT and how we played the last 10 games of the season, winning 7 out of 10, I thought was great. But we need more. We need more, Doug. We want to get back to those 90s, those John Sally days, those Kenny Anderson days, my days. The Travis Best days. We want to get there.
Right, and you know what? You bring up a very good point, and this is the last thing. We're finishing up with Malcolm Mackey on the Doug Stewart Show. on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. You bring up a very valid point. What was it about that era, the late 80s, early 90s, Georgia Tech sports had it going on? The brand of Georgia Tech sports was big. Georgia Tech won the national championship in 1990, and you just talked about all the fantastic players and the great run you guys had under Bobby Crimmins in those days. What's happened? Like, where's all of that mystique gone from the Georgia Tech sports programs?
Can you say it? Homer Rice, man. Homer Rice was such a great AD, man, and his hiring and what he did with bringing in coaches in that could get the job done, not only with coaching, but recruiting. When I was at Georgia Tech, the campus was electric. And I just credit Homer Rice for putting that together because he hired the football coaches. He was in charge of that and the basketball coaches and the whole athletic program at the time. And what he was doing, and I just thought, as a young 18-year-old coming into Georgia Tech, I just thought that that's just what college was going to be, that Georgia Tech would continue to do what it was doing, and it would be year after year after year, not realizing that I would be looking back and seeing that, man, that was such a special time, and not even realizing how special it was at the time. I think Homer Rice putting together Bobby Crimmins, because on my end of the football side, I mean, Bobby just had that kind of personality, man, where he just walked into a room and he just took over the room. My parents were not easily impressed by a lot of coaches, but they was very impressed with Bobby Crimmins. There was two coaches that came into my home that my parents were very impressed with. That was Jimmy Valvano and Bobby Crimmins. And when you look at the two guys and their resumes and the kind of people that they were, and not only the kind of coaches and the coaches that they were, it was just easy to gravitate to them. So Bobby was very good. He's a salesperson. He was very good at selling the university. He was very good at selling his program. He was very good at selling himself as being a loyal, faithful guy. And we had a presence, an alumni presence, that I think Tech is lacking now. In the basketball part, when Coach Crimmins was coaching, you had former players around. You had Bruce Dalrymple that was an assistant coach on the bench. You know, just his presence being around. You actually had former players coming back, giving us advice. They would actually come back and work out with us and play with us in the summers. Tom Hammonds, Mark Price, you know, these guys were around. Dwayne Ferrell, I saw these guys around all the time. John Sally, I saw these guys around all the time. So it created a family feel. And I don't know if Tech has that family feel anymore. But the way to build it is really, in my opinion, is to have involved, you got too many pro athletes. You got too many pro guys that are presently playing in the NBA right now or formerly have played in the past, to not have these guys not just coming to games, but actively involved in the program. I mean, you know, assistant coaching maybe, or having basketball camps at the school. You just don't have that, and that's how you create any team that has been winning for decades. They have a real presence of the former players and the alumni support. Without that, you're always going to have a mediocre team. You're just going to have a year good here, a year good there, but you're not going to be consistent with it unless you create that family and you're able to have these guys that are playing ball presently in the NBA. I love to hear Chris Bosh having a camp at Georgia Tech, inviting LeBron James. That would electrify the city. That would electrify the small kids that are playing ball right now to want to come to Georgia Tech. And if he came, a whole lot of other Georgia Tech ball players will come out, and they'll be supporting that. Same thing if Mark Price was here, Matt Harper was here, any of these guys. If any of these guys come back and they was able to do something at Georgia Tech and they was able to bring the people back, all the players will come back, and you will have a lot more support locally in the communities. Because at our age, Doug, not to be going on and on, but our age, Doug, we got kids now. And our kids now don't remember Georgia Tech winning. So they don't look at Georgia Tech the same way we do. But if we was able to have these camps and have our kids participate in these camps, we remember. So if you saw that and I saw that, you will be pushing Georgia Tech because you remember. And that's the kind of thing that we have got to do because it's been so long.
Wow. Hey, phenomenal stuff, bruh. Phenomenal stuff. Malcolm Mackey on the Doug Stewart Show. Bruh, I would like to have you on a little bit further down the road, maybe Final Four time, national championship time in a couple of weeks. Thank you for the time today, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Anytime, brother.
There he is, Malcolm Mackey right there on the Doug Stewart Show. Great stuff. You know what? When we get back, I want to talk a little bit about what he was saying about Tech, man. If you're listening to this show, I mean, a large amount of you listening to this show are from Metro Atlanta. Georgia Tech had it going on in the early 90s, man. Like, what happened? Where did all of it go? And my man Malcolm Mackey just talked about a lot of it, man, but I want to give you my perspective, man. Don't go away. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show coming up.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, we're paying homage to Bobby Brown today, but y'all know I'm kind of sore at the cat because he kind of stole my gig some 35 years ago. But that's all right. I'm going to show y'all today what I got and what New Edition missed out on. Doug Stewart style. F you, Bobby, pay me. All right, here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. For the ladies. Now that you are here with me, baby, let's do it right. Lady, you know just what I need. I wanna hold you oh so tight. Baby, just touch me anywhere. Cutie, you turn me on. Ooh, baby, I'd like to run my fingers through your hair. So come on and stay with me all night. I wanna rock with you, baby, all night long. I wanna roll with you, lady, feeling so strong. I wanna rock with you, baby. Yes, sir. All night long. Rockin', rollin', rollin', rock. Making sweet love. Don't you ever stop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is how we do it around here, man. If you're new to the show, this is how we do it around here. We talk to the greats, Malcolm Mackey, and I give you a little bit of Bobby Brown. Better than Bobby Brown. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. You are welcome, Stewies. You are welcome. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@DougStewartShow.com. Bobby Brown ain't got ish on me. Yes, sir. That's for the ladies. That's for the ladies. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Tribute Tuesday. We're paying homage to the great Bobby Brown today. Somewhat. You just heard me sing it better than he sung it. That was one of the tracks he stole from me. Yeah. So if you're new to the show, it's a little sample of what I do around here on a regular. And I'm looking at the chat room. The chat room is on fire. Thank you, Stewies. You're welcome. You're welcome. I want to thank Malcolm Mackey for coming on, man, and giving a great interview, man. Gave some great perspective on Georgia Tech. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We're brought to you by ID Life. What is ID Life? ID Life is individualized nutrition, the Netflix of nutrition, the industry game changer. Go to thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedougstewartshow.idlife.com and get more details. Take your free assessment. But Malcolm Mackey, man, he talked a little bit about the early 90s and Lethal Weapon 3, Kenny Anderson, Brian Oliver, Dennis Scott, himself, and the great run that they had under Bobby Crimmins. And he talked about Homer Rice, the athletic director at the time. Not only did Georgia Tech have it going on in basketball, Georgia Tech won a national championship in 1990. Like, people forget that. In this state, I've been in Georgia for 20 years now. And whenever you talk to sports fans, college fans, they talk as if the Georgia Bulldogs won a national championship 2 or 3 years ago. Like, all the time. Ever since I've been here for 20 years, that's how they talk. The last national championship brought to the state of Georgia was Georgia Tech. Okay? And that was a fun team to watch. Sean Jones, William Bell, fantastic players. Bobby Rodriguez, fantastic players for that Georgia Tech team. The basketball team had high-profile guys. Dennis Scott, the number 1 player coming out of high school when he did. Kenny Anderson, probably the most heralded, one of the top 3 or 4 heralded players coming out of high school. Georgia Tech in the city of Atlanta was on fire. Like, there was kind of like this aura about Atlanta that was kind of burgeoning. People wanted to be in Atlanta. The music scene was on fire. The sports was on fire at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was cool. Atlanta was cool, or just starting to be cool nationally. And somehow, some way, man, they've lost that. They have lost that, man. Georgia Tech had a feel to it of like hipness, the basketball and the football program. Great players. Marco Coleman, man. Fantastic players for that team that won a national championship in 1990. What's happened, man? What's happened? Now you got Paul Johnson. You got, Brian Gregory, man, and they're doing all of this stuff. And Gregory's bringing in all these transfers. And Paul Johnson's running this wing T, triple option stuff or whatever, man. That stuff ain't going to work. And now my brother swears up and down, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, that something has happened academically where they can't get the same players that they did back during that era. And so that kind of limits them in the talent pool that they can get. I don't know. They got good players. They just don't have great players. And I saw somebody mention it in the chat room that, they need to put up a fence around the state of Georgia. Like, if you knew how much talent there was around Metro Atlanta basketball-wise, yeah, you literally could do that. Like the University of Miami did back in the day. They called it the state of Miami. And they got all the players from the state of Miami. If you got the best basketball players and football players from Metro Atlanta, kept them home, per se, Georgia Tech could easily be rolling. You got to bring in the right personalities at head coach. There's a couple of things you got to tweak, but Tech used to have it going on. And I know for a lot of the younger people that don't remember that era, you're like, Georgia Tech? Georgia Tech had it going on. Team-wise, sports-wise, school-wise, city-wide. What's happened? What has happened? All right, when we get back from the break, man, I think we got everything back on track. We went a little bit over with the interview with Malcolm Mackey. Once again, phenomenal job. Thank you, Malcolm Mackey. When we get back, hour number 2, Tribute Tuesday. Don't go away. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. You can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Shouts out, what's up, Stewies? Good morning to you. All of the new listeners. You know, and I'm not going to stay on this all day, man, but it's kind of like a personal thing with me, man, this whole Georgia Tech talk, man. I can't explain to people. Man, how great of a time it was to be in Atlanta in the early 90s. I mean, if you know anything about Atlanta, if you from around here, if you're born and raised from here, you know there was a population boom that was kind of around Freaknik 94, Freaknik 93, you know, right before they stopped doing it. You know, you had the Olympics in 96. But people were coming to Atlanta, man, in droves before then. I moved here in 95. So this is my, 21st year here in the city. But there was a population boom, man, and they used to call D.C. Chocolate City. But this is truly Chocolate City. And the thing about Atlanta that you need to understand if you're not from here is that I don't know of anywhere else where city government is so dominated by black people. Like, I don't know, maybe it is in D.C., maybe it is in Baltimore or Houston or Oakland or one of those other, you know, black cities or whatever. But in Atlanta, man, usually the police chief is black, the mayor, you know, everybody of importance in city government is usually black. And there's a lot of people, movers and shakers that are down here, and a lot of people, man. There was a a population explosion in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. You're talking about So Def, LaFace Records, Criss Cross was doing their thing, Magic City was on fleek. And then you had Freaknik, as I just talked about a couple minutes ago. So downtown ATL, man, was cool. And then when you talk about Georgia Tech, once again, when you talk about the basketball, how did Bobby Crimmins get Dennis Scott to move and come to Atlanta from Washington, D.C.? How did he get Kenny Anderson to come from Brooklyn, one of them boroughs, Brooklyn or Bronx, or wherever the hell Kenny Anderson is from, or maybe Kenny Anderson's from Queens, one of them boroughs in New York City, to come play for Georgia Tech? That was during the time that Syracuse was great in basketball. St. John's had it going on. He convinced Kenny Anderson. Kenny Anderson was like a mythical figure. He was kind of like a god coming out of high school, and he convinced him to come to Atlanta. You know why? Because Atlanta had it going on. Still got it going on. But Atlanta really had it going on. And once again, the music industry was booming. And it was just cool to be in ATL. It was very cool to be in ATL. And then, Freaknik went away, and that's where it all started to go downhill. But I've always thought it was cool. And the first time I came to Georgia Tech was, I think we dropped Ryan off was the first time. What was I doing? Yeah, we were dropping him off to school. And I'm trying to figure out why was I available. I know why. Because this was during the point where I was transferring colleges, and so I wasn't in school yet. So I rode with the family to Atlanta to drop Ryan off in the dorm. So it's the first time I'd ever been in Atlanta in my life. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I'm, 19, 20 years old, and we hang out for a couple of days and go to Magic City and this, that, and the other. And, somehow we do all of these things, and Atlanta's great. Atlanta's fantastic. And it's cool. It's always cool. I thought it was always cool that you could say you played downtown in downtown ATL. Like most colleges, I'm going to say 90% of the colleges in this country, they don't, they aren't situated downtown with skyscrapers surrounding the stadium at Bobby Dodd Stadium like it is. So I always thought that was cool. Most colleges are out. They have a lot of land. They're out in the country or whatever, and they're by themselves. The college is the town. Like Clemson and Georgia, all of these towns, these schools that basically is dominated by the school in these little small towns. Georgia Tech is so unique. When they play on Thursday night, man, under the lights, Bobby Dodd Stadium, downtown ATL, it's a good look. But for some reason, man, Tech hadn't been able to keep all of these great kids that live in Metro Atlanta, and it's really depressing when you think about it. It's very depressing, and Malcolm Mackey's whole thing was that the athletic director actually was the catalyst behind the great times that they had sports-wise at Georgia Tech in the early 90s. I don't know, man. I'm just reminiscing a little bit. Where's Mary J. when you need her? Where's Mary J. Blige when you need her? Yeah. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me read some of your chat messages here. There's so many chat messages in here and talking about my singing from a little bit earlier today, man. I can't read them all. I'll read a couple, but I'll just give you a blanket thank you. I'll just say with a blanket statement, thank you very much. I know and I understand how much you love when I sing. I wish I could do it more, but I don't have time to put time into it, into my craft, and to prepare and to get ready and warm my voice up and all of that type of stuff, man. So I'll just say thank you. I'm not going to be able to read a ton of your messages. From Loose Neck No Pasty Sigh, he says, Doug singing made my day. The girls took their panties off and they threw them in the sky. Thank you, Doug. You're a singing genius. Thank you, Loose Neck Sigh. Wow. From DJ Maestro Love of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. What up, Maestro Love? Thank you for listening, brother. Or is that the other Maestro? Anyway, he says, where is it at? He says, Sluggo, it's Doug singing. He is the best. Bobby Brown ain't got ish on him. Thank you, my man, Maestro. Wow. Whew. I'm humbled. Al Thompson. Did I miss Doug singing? Damn it. I hate myself that I missed Doug singing. Man, who's that, Al Thompson? Man, thank you, Al Thompson. You should stay tuned, bruh. Yeah, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. All right, just one more. From DJ Maestro Love says, Doug, I will put that remix in my next mix. Thank you very much. I already read one of your messages. You said that you had loved my singing already. Let's see what we got here. Sorry about that. I apologize about that. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show from Loose Neck, No Pasty Side. Again, you're very active in the chat room over the last couple of days. He says, Hustle Man Records, a.k.a. Doug Stewart Records, better than Bad Boy, better than, what's this say right here? You misspelled. Oh, better than Death Row, better than Motown. Doug, you are the man. Thank you, Loose Neck. Wow. I didn't know Loose Neck was such a fan of my singing. Thank you, brother. Hey, well, anyway, 404-382-0338. Enough of that. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, I want to talk a little bit about the Golden State Warriors and what they're doing right now. Last night they win again. It's in their immediate future, man. This record is right around the corner. So I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk a little bit about a packer packing it in. We'll do that. We'll also do birthdays and a little entertainment news to get into as well here on the Doug Stewart Show, okay? So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, all right? Don't go anywhere. Get your hands off the dial and stay right here for the Doug Stewart Show. All right? Man, I'm taken aback by all these comments about my singing, man. Wow. Yeah. Ducking and dodging. That was someone calling Doug to try to sign him to their label. Doug, I hope we don't lose you to the music business. You're a fantastic sports and entertainment talk show host guy, but your singing is for the what? Oh, for the Angels. Oh, man, thank you. Thank you. All right, don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show coming up next. Don't go away. What is ID Life? Well, over the last 18 years, a group of scientists and doctors have been working on the development of a one-of-a-kind nutritional supplement program that takes all the guesswork out of what you need and delivers your truly personalized pharmaceutical-grade nutrition with your name on it directly to your door. Through the integration of thousands of medical and scientific studies, answers you provide to the free assessment, and more than 5,470 algorithms that process the data, ID Nutrition recommends what you need, leaves out what you don't, and blocks things known to the system to have possible adverse effects based on the answers you provide. The result is a program that is revolutionizing the health and wellness industry. Welcome to ID Life. For more information, just go to thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Ninja think he can sing. Whatever, man. Hey, good morning, Stewies. Good morning. Or good afternoon, wherever you're at. Tribute Tuesday, Bobby Brown. He all right. He ain't no Doug Stewart, but he all right. Bobby Brown. Listen to this. I mean, he all right. He all right. Hey, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to you by Strickland Security. That's right, Strickland Security, man, have over 55 years combined experience in the business. They can get you a basic alarm system starting at just $15 a month. Or they can even fix your alarm system. Or they can give you the big boy alarm system where they've got all the lights, cameras, and whatnot. They've got these community watch programs that they can come and talk to you about, and so you can institute with your homeowners association. Great guys, man. Not going to try to upsell you. Check out my folks online at StricklandSecurity.com. That's StricklandSecurity.com, and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. All right. We're doing a lot of great things with the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We can interview you on my show. It's kind of like an infomercial type thing where you can talk about your product, your company, your business, whatever it may be. We can promote you on social media. We do voiceovers, host or speak at your events, play your music on your show if you're an artist. And then the big thing we're doing is we are broadcasting other shows on the network. That's right, it's a network. The Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We are grinding our asses off. Trust me on that. Other great shows on the network like the Kicking It with Kesey show, the Pole Politicking show, the Cooking with the Microwave show, my man John Fisher, the Grizz. If you got a great show, podcast, online podcast, but you don't have a lot of listeners, we have listeners, over 10,000 followers to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Break bread with us, man. It can be beneficial to you and to us. Email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. So last night in the NBA, Steph Curry goes for 27, doesn't even play the fourth quarter, as the Golden State Warriors just dominate the New Orleans Pelicans 125-107. Their record right now stands at 60-6. Damn it, I should have done this before I even started talking about this, but you know I'm not good at math. Let me try to do some quick math. So 60-6. So you got 4 remaining. Add 10. So 10, that's 14. Then it's an 82-game season, so it's 2 more. So it's 10, 14. That's 16. There's 16 games left. Okay, so they're at 60 wins right now. They have to lose 4 of these 16 games not to pass the Chicago Bulls. Okay, if they lose 4, they'll tie them. Right? That's right. 12. That's right. The 60. Right. Okay. So the 72 wins. If they lose 4 games out of these remaining 16 games, they'll tie the Chicago Bulls. That ain't going to happen, man. I don't think they're going to lose 4 games. They might lose 2. I doubt they'll lose 3. No way in hell they lose 4 games. So we'll see, man. We'll see. And you're talking about an incredible accomplishment. I didn't think anybody would come close to winning 72 games in the season. There's good teams out there every year, but I don't think that teams put a precedent on, winning 72 games or seeing as how many games they can win in a calendar season. As evidenced by the San Antonio Spurs, they rest all of their players when they make the playoffs. It's pretty much a wrap. They kind of put the brakes on. They kind of, slow everything down and make sure that they're healthy. And the final goal is to make sure you win a championship. I think at this point where it's a talking point, where people are talking about it, they're talking about it, it's in sight, I think they have reason to try to go for it. But usually teams don't even get in a position where it's close enough for them to try to win 72 games. And Golden State is at this point, man, so I think they're going to go for it. I don't think that they're going to, pull up on the gas any bit at all. I think they're going to go for it, and I just can't see them losing 4 games. I don't know. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. From Clay Booty Sweat Davis. I feel some type of way of saying that, man. Pause. From Eugene Jackson, says Chicago fans just want Golden State to lose 5 more games, then we will be popping champagne. That ain't going to happen, bruh. They're not going to lose 5 out of 16 games. At the worst, they'll lose 4. And I can't even envision that. Like the worst I can see, the most I can see them losing is 3 games. Now, if they lose, no, I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say if they lost 2 games in a row, maybe they'll put their foot on the brakes and they'll slow up and it won't be an issue anymore. They won't even try for it. No. They're not going to lose 5 games, bro. And if you're a Chicago fan, I'm sorry for you. It's a wrap. I'm taking all bets. Eugene, if you'd like to wager, say $1 or $2, because I can't wager more than that. If you'd like to wager $1 or $2, email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com, and I'll take all your wagers, $2 and under. From Clay Booty Sweat Davis, they're going to lose a game to the Spurs. I think they play the Spurs 2 more times. They might lose one of those, but they probably won't. Like when you say they're going to lose a game to the Spurs, why? Like what have they done this year to indicate to you that you should pick them to lose against the Spurs? There's absolutely nothing that they've done this year. There's nothing that any other team has done this year. Now the Spurs are playing fantastic. Second best record in the league. I get you, but they're old as dirt. Popovich doesn't care about these regular season games. So you have that working against you. From Lily D, lose 25% down the stretch. It will never happen. Wow. From Rel Scott, 2 + 2 = 6. 13 + 3 to get the record. Yeah. Loose neck Sai again. He says, Doug singing is like the anti-kryptonite to Superman. It helps him get stronger. Thank you, Loose neck Sai. You mixed in some more pleasantries towards me and my singing in the Chicago Bull Golden State Warrior talk. That's okay. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Let's try to stick to the script here and talk about basketball now. Enough, and you've given me far too many kudos for my singing a little bit earlier. I understand, bro. You are a fan of my singing. Thank you. Thank you, Loose Neck. Okay, let's move on, though. I'm bashful. I'm actually kind of humble about that type of stuff, so I'm kind of embarrassed when you continue to throw bouquets of roses at me, bro. Pause. From Clay Booty Sweat Davis, I have a real issue saying that. Like, I can't call you Booty Sweat no more, bro. He says the NFL just announced that listening to Doug singing leads to treatment into the total annihilation of CTE. Damn. What you're saying is my singing is like a healing aid? Kind of like the fountain of youth? My singing fixes you? It makes you younger? Wow. Listen, I've had a lot of compliments on my singing on this show over the last couple of months that I've started singing. But I've never heard anyone say that my voice is magical. Thank you, Coop. We've been working, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We've been trying to put together an album, like a Christmas album, and hopefully we'll have that ready for you and in stores by Christmas 2016. So yeah, bro, you'll get Doug Stewart like 16 of my most famous tracks or cover songs. So stay tuned, Coop. I don't think that my voice actually can heal crippled people like, Honest Sam on Good Times, where he comes and puts his hand on them and they jump out of the wheelchair and they start boogieing. I don't think that my singing does that quite, but it's close. Let you tell it. From Uncle Mike, he says, at least Doug didn't take the call on air like Vern did yesterday. What did Vern do yesterday? What did Vern do yesterday? Vern was doing his show. Vern does a show. Chief Rocker, Jersey Vern, one of the listeners to the Doug Stewart Show. If you're new to this show and you've never heard of the name Vern. Vern from Jersey is a guy that supported the Two Live Stews, listens to this show. He's good people, man, but he's aggravating as hell. And so Vern does his show. He does a show on Spreaker as well, which is a very good show. I can't remember the name of it right now. Maybe it's Chief Rocker Jersey Vern or something like that. And so I think what they're saying is Vern did his show yesterday. He took a call on the show. Nah, Vern, don't do that, bro. From Eugene Jackson, Doug, should New York be happy if Phil Jackson only coaches home games next season for the Knicks? No, they shouldn't. I just had a conversation. Oh, yeah, well, my boy Mo, South Carolina State alumni, went to school with me. He's a Knicks fan. And we were texting back and forth this weekend. Something had happened with the Knicks. Some kind of shenanigans with the Knicks, and he called me, or he texted me and was saying, man, he can't stand Phil Jackson. I says, bruh, why do you think we were happy to see his ass go? We love Phil. I'm a Laker fan if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show. I says, I'm a Laker fan, and Phil bought what, 6 championships to the Lakers? Was it 5 or 6 championships? 5 championships to the Lakers? But Phil Jackson is a money-grubbing crook. Phil Jackson is a con man. I'm serious. Phil wanted us to pay him an exorbitant amount of money to come back and coach the Lakers, the talk was, and he didn't want to go on road games. He wanted to part-time coach, but wanted to be paid like the greatest coach that ever walked the face of the earth, but not coach. And so we told him to kick rocks. Come checking them cats like, man, we love you, Phil, but we just can't pay you that. We can't let you hold us hostage. And what did Phil do? Convince the sap-sucker New York Knicks to give him a boatload of money, and he ain't doing ish. Best thing he's done since he's been there is signed or drafted Kristaps Porzingis. Outside of that, Phil ain't done nothing. He don't want to go to the games. He don't want to do nothing. He just want to get paid. He want to work half the time but get triple the money. Y'all keep Phil Jackson. I love him once again, but y'all can have him. Phil Jackson will rob your ass without a damn mask and gun. Once again, don't get my words twisted. The man was a phenomenal coach. He brought championships to the Lakers. I appreciate all that he's done for my team. But if you pay Phil Jackson what he wants, you are a sucker. And that's the New York Knicks. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. What is ID Life? Well, over the last 18 years, a group of scientists and doctors have been working on the development of a one-of-a-kind nutritional supplement program that takes all the guesswork out of what you need and delivers your truly personalized pharmaceutical-grade nutrition with your name on it directly to your door. Through the integration of thousands of medical and scientific studies, answers you provide to the free assessment, and more than 5,470 algorithms that process the data, ID Nutrition recommends what you need, leaves out what you don't, and blocks things known to the system that have possible adverse effects based on the answers you provide. The result is a program that is revolutionizing the health and wellness industry. Welcome to ID Life. For more information, just go to thedugstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedugstewartshow.idlife.com. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm paying homage to Bobby Brown today. Old Jive Time Turkey. Hustled me out of the group so he could get more shine. But that's okay. This is Tribute Tuesday. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. We need to do some birthdays here. For a second, talk a little entertainment. But Bobby Brown, who we're paying tribute today, 47 years of age. You knew that he was married to Whitney Houston. Bobby Brown got 6 kids. Did y'all know he got 6 kids? I mean, and I guess this is kind of like that whole thing with this guy. And I went back and read all the chat yesterday. This is kind of like that little thing we were talking about yesterday with Little Future. You know, Little Future, man, he gonna have it rough around there. My boy Corey Holcomb did a whole skit on, you know, little kids and Little Future situation. But he gonna have it rough around there. Bobby Brown got 6 kids, but you never hear about the other kids. You only hear about Bobby Christina, God bless her soul. I didn't know he had that many children. Good for him. One of the first people are known for the New Jack Swing era. And I almost had thought that maybe Teddy Riley had something to do with producing this album, but he didn't. It was LaFace. So today, man, we pay homage to Bobby Brown. Somebody said earlier in the chat room, you know, how are you a member of New Edition and you lived in South Carolina? I commuted. How about that? I commuted. And Bobby started throwing shade, and the rest is history, man. Today is March 15th, 2016. Celebrating his 41st birthday today is will.i.am. Is he like the lead singer to Black Eyed Peas? Yeah, he's the lead singer, I think. Happy birthday to him. He's only 41. Happy birthday, will.i.am. Celebrating his 29th birthday today is Eric Decker, wide receiver. Put in some good work for the Denver Broncos, but Peyton Manning. He turns 29 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Trayvon Austin, wide receiver for the St. Louis Rams. Slot guy, special teams guy. He turns 25 today. Happy birthday to him. And you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Jabari Parker turns 21 years old today. He's been playing good. I got him on one of my fantasy teams, and he's been putting in work, getting healthy after the knee injury last year. So he turns 21 today. He's able to go and get himself a stiff one. Drink, a stiff drink. You know, that metaphor is kind of used with something else, too. I don't mean that. Pause. Celebrating his 53rd birthday today is wrestler Bret Michaels. I don't really know too much of his work. I'm not in the wrestling like I used to be back in the day. Young Buck, who is one of 50 Cent's proteges, turns 35 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Mike Tomlin turns 44 years old today, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Happy birthday to him, but I'm kind of feeling some type of way about how he went off last week on D'Angelo Williams on Twitter. Still respect him, though, man. Root for him. But he turns 44 today. Wow. Speaking of wrestlers, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, one of the greatest wrestling personalities ever. The Iron Sheik turned 73 years old today. The Iron Sheik! Yes, sir! And last birthday, celebrating his 24th birthday today, is running back for the Atlanta Falcons, our own Devontae Freeman. Happy birthday, Devontae. Boy, you had a hell of a year last year, son. You made you some money. One entertainment news and note. The Sony Corporation announced a deal to take over Michael Jackson's 50% stake in the joint venture that was launched in 1995 and owns copyrights for some of the biggest recordings in history. For instance, it takes over New York. Who's that? Sinatra? Jailhouse Rock. I Heard It Through the Grapevine. All You Need Is Love. And the Mission Impossible theme. Michael Jackson owned all that. You remember when Michael Jackson had died, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, Sony's paying $750 million to the Michael Jackson estate. I forgot to tell you that part of the story. You remember when Michael Jackson had died? There were all these conspiracies that were out that, you know, Sony killed him so they could take over his catalog of music that he owned in this joint venture. I don't know how, real that is. And I saw a very extensive kind of like documentary type thing that was kind of narrated by Dick Gregory. And if you want to see some crazy, amazing stuff, a lot of the stuff is good stuff. You talk about a conspiracy ninja? Listen, God bless Dick Gregory, man, but sometimes, man, he kind of goes out there. I got a good friend of mine, a fraternity brother, that sends me like once or twice a week, a link to a Dick Gregory video. And once again, Dick Gregory has been at the forefront of civil rights in this country for the people, but sometimes he going a little bit out there in the left field. Like my boy sent me one last week where Dick Gregory was talking about shapeshifters. Yeah. Now listen, I don't want this to come across the wrong way. I love Dick Gregory and everything he's done for the people. But you can't go from one day talking about a conspiracy to kill Malcolm and Martin to shapeshifters. And you're probably saying to yourself, what's a shapeshifter, Doug? If you've ever seen X-Men, you know Mystique? you know Mystique, the cartoon character? She's a shapeshifter. So she basically can transform herself. I think it's Mystique. She can transform herself to any other person. I think all she has to do is touch them or something like that, or be in the same room with them or something like that. So Dick Gregory in this video, look it up if you don't believe me. Go to YouTube and look up Dick Gregory and shapeshifters. But anyway, Dick Gregory narrated this whole conspiracy thing about Michael Jackson and how they actually killed him and how the doctor that was overseeing him, was paid off by Sony. So, ultimately they could take over this catalog of music that Michael Jackson had bought. I don't know about all of that, man, but Michael Jackson's estate Maybe it was worth way more than $750 million. But $750 million ain't nothing to sneeze at. So, that's a little news and notes from the world of entertainment and your birthdays and stuff here on the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. I'm looking at some of this chat messages in here from Clay Davis. I'm not going to say your middle name moniker today, sir. No more. I'm done with that. He says, Dick Gregory is a comedian and a vegan. Yeah, Dick Gregory wears a lot of hats. Comedian, nutritionist, doesn't eat meat, as you just said in the little chat post. And he's also a civil rights leader, spokesman. Willie D. Dick Gregory is a mean son of a... Oh, that's another thing about the great Dick Gregory, too. I'm telling you, there's a series of videos that I don't know who it was. They scored. I don't know if they paid Dick Gregory to do it or not, but there's a series of videos where it looked like the person interviewed Dick Gregory for probably 2 or 3 hours, and they just continued to throw him topics, and Dick Gregory responded 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes per topic or whatever. And the guy doing the interview with Dick Gregory, sometimes he'd say something that Dick Gregory, being the old school cat that he is, Dick Gregory found disrespectful. And so before the guy could even get the words coming out of his mouth, man, shut up! See, that's what I'm talking about! Shut your mouth! I'm talking. You asked me to do the interview, right? Then shut up, man! That's Dick Gregory. He is... I almost want to say that he's I don't want to call him senile, but he's borderline. Something is going on. He's old as Methuselah. Once again, I love him. And has spoken up for the people for so long. But if you watch these interviews, you see what I'm saying. I'm not lying. Very unstable character, man. Shouts out to the great Dick Gregory. And I'm sure some of you have seen these videos I'm talking about, man. But everything is a conspiracy. Everything ain't a conspiracy. Let me say that. Everything ain't a conspiracy. A lot of times there's a conspiracy. Like for me, I don't personally believe that we walked on the moon. I think that's BS. But everything ain't a conspiracy. And I find it hard to believe in the whole concept of shapeshifters. I do, okay? Bless his heart, though. If you interview Dick Gregory, you better make sure you on your P's and Q's with respect, because he's not going to take it. He's not going to take it. Yeah. He's not going to sit around and let you disrespect him or talk to him any old kind of way. You young whippersnapper. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. for all your sports and entertainment ticket needs. Call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Tribute Tuesday, March 15th, 2016. The realest, treeless, most fun, unfiltered sports and guide talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show, paid homage today to the great Bobby Brown. Yeah, he's good. I had him listed as one of the top 5 albums of the late 80s, early 90s. And so today we pay homage to the great Bobby Brown. You still got time to get a call in if you'd like, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. I'm going to read more of your chat here in a second. Martavius Bryant, though, suspended for the year, at least the year. It might even be more. He's been suspended for a minimum of a year for violating the NFL substance abuse policy. The league announced on Monday. It means that it's going to begin immediately. Dude was scheduled to make $600,000 this coming year. You know that he was in trouble last year, suspended for, I think, the first 4 games of the season because of the same thing. And this young man just pissed away, $600,000. It's very distressful to see this type of thing, man, because I almost don't want to go off on this kid because he's young, went to Clemson, fantastic player. When he was on the field, man, just a phenomenal wide receiver talent. But it looks like he's pissing it away. It reminds you so much of the Josh Gordon situation in Cleveland, which he's back in the league this year after missing an entire season. I just hate to see these young people piss it away. Now, if it's just recreational type stuff, shame on him. I mean, how silly can you be, to risk all of this type of money? If it's weed or whatever it may be, they've never really come out and said exactly what he was nabbed for. We aren't even supposed to know that. But if that's the case, that's pretty silly and that's pretty bad. It's very, very dumb. If it's more to the story than that, okay, and he really has an issue, then pray for the young man. That's all I'm gonna say. Because at this point, whenever I hear this type of story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I'm not 100% sure if it's just a young kid being silly that likes to smoke weed or do whatever his drugs are, or a cat that really has an issue. The fact that you got suspended last year and you got busted again, knowing what was on the line, knowing what was at risk, for you to do it again tells me that it must be deeper than just a casual thing and you trying to smoke some weed with your boys. You probably got a problem. So I don't want to go ham on him. And say he's stupid, this, that, and the other. I kind of tread lightly. I'll leave it at this. Y'all pray for my man, that he gets better because something's going on. All right? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let me read more of your chat here on the show on Spreaker.com. From Rel Scott. What up, Rel? Up in the Philadelphia. Rel says, we call people like Dick Gregory crazy, but meanwhile, folks are about to put Trump in office. What am I missing? Yeah, I don't know what you're missing either, bruh. I don't know what it is either. I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks and months, man. This Donald Trump thing, to me, is one of the most incredible, mysterious things that I've ever seen in my life. You know, that people are actually out there going to cast their vote for this man to be the president of the United States of America. That's absolutely silly. From Vince Wright, he says, where are these videos? I guess he's talking about the Dick Gregory videos. YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Just go to YouTube and put in search Dick Gregory rant. And there's probably 100 things will come up. From the 47 problem, don't get him started on the first black president, John Hanson tip. I was like, but that John Hanson wasn't black. I nearly got cussed out. Wait a minute, Rel. 47 problem, did you interview Dick Gregory? Man, can you get Dick Gregory on the show, bruh? I would love to get Dick Gregory on the show. From Old Man Cuddy. Oh, here comes something. Defending Dick Gregory, I'm sure. Old Man Cuddy, every show Doug got a clown or celebrity shaking my damn head. Or just say what you want to say, bro. Every show Doug's clowning a black guy. Just go ahead and say that. I mean, that's fine. You can say it. It's all good, bro. You bring some type of crazy balance to the show. I appreciate you. From C-Mac Big Foe, you are right, Doug. We have not been on the moon. Oh, hell no, we ain't been on no moon. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. You remember our producer Shaggy from back in the day? Shaggy, that was his favorite saying. That's just crazy talk. That's crazy talk, man, to think that we've been on the moon. All right, let me give you the quick synopsis of that. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. My whole we haven't been on the moon theory thing came about 10 years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago. It was a long time. There was an article that I read in National Geographic, and the article was talking about China and how China was striving to try to put a man on the moon. And the article stated that they weren't going to be able to do it like for another 10 years. Okay, now do the math. When we supposedly landed on the moon was 1969. Okay, you do know that technology in 1969 as compared to technology in 2000, some 35 years later, is just obsolete. Like the computers and the technology that we had back in 1969 probably filled up an entire room or an entire hallway of rooms. Okay, an entire building. That's how big and massive and obese the computers and the technology equipment that we had back in 1969 were. But we were able to put somebody on the moon back then, and we can't do it in 2000 and whatever? Think about that now. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I keep saying I'm going to do a conspiracy type show for the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I just hadn't got to it yet. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So my point to you is, how can we put somebody on the moon? I don't care about shadows or none of the other little conspiracy stuff. The biggest thing to me, okay, the biggest qualifier for this whole thing was a lie, and it was because of the Cold War, and we were going back and forth with Russia, and we just wanted to say that we were the first one to go on the moon, was how could you, with just demonstrative big-ass equipment and technology, which in relative terms is obsolete in today's technology, put men on the moon back in 1969, and we have computers today that are probably, your laptop that's sitting in front of you right now is just as much as powerful probably as the computers and the technology they had back in 1969. Oh yeah, and this story talked about the Chinese. The Chinese are the best in technology and computers, and they still haven't been able to do it, or aren't in a place where they can actually have the technology to safely put men on the moon in 2016. They still haven't done it yet. So 2016, I told y'all earlier, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, my math isn't great. I told y'all earlier. So 2016, so 16 at 30, that's 46, 47. 47 years later, with the advancements in technology, the Chinese, okay, the Chinese still aren't able to put a man on the moon, but you expect us to believe that we did it back in 1969. GTFOH. GTFOH. That's that BS I'm talking about. That's that BS I'm talking about. I don't care about all the other conspiracies. If you look at the video, you can see the flag, the American flag blowing this way, and the other. No. Common sense to me says that if we were able to put a man on the moon in 1969, we should be making trips to the moon like every other hour on the hour, like a train, like Amtrak out this bitch. I'm just saying, just think about it. Just think about it. As quick as we put a train out on the tracks, we should be able to send a man to the moon in 2016. But no one is doing it. Oh, well, we don't want to put the money in. This is what the people that say that is true will say. Well, we just don't want to put that money into that type of campaign. What? But you did in 1969? Huh? GTFOH, GTFOH. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to all of the listeners, the Stewies, man. This is what you get around here. You get fun, you get singing, you laugh, sports, and every once in a while, I'll expand upon my conspiracy theory on something. Thank you. Shouts out to my man Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Vasson, Gerald Oliveri, the engineers to the show. Really appreciate it. Big ups to my man Pink Gator and Beans and Cornbread on the production on this track. Shouts out to Bobby Brown. F you, Bobby, pay me. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Y'all be careful out there on them streets. Peace.